Copwatch, policing the police every single day.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Right now, I'd like to invite up Jessica Glazier to do our national anthem. Jessica?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in and gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Thank you all for being here tonight. This is a great night. I've been in broadcasting for over 40 years, 25 of them right here in Charlotte County. I've interviewed athletes, politicians, of which there are a few here tonight, by the way. Commissioners Bill Truex, Ken Doherty, and Stephen R. George, please rise. We have a number of Commonwealth City Council members here as well. We thank them for attending tonight. But with all the people I've interviewed, from Larry Bird all the way back, Super Bowl stars, one thing you don't realize is they're not very equipped to handle an everyday emergency. They wouldn't know what to do. And I know many of you out here tonight have run into that on your job. So what I'm trying to say to everybody here tonight, we are honoring the heroes. These are the people tonight that are getting honored. They should be the idols our children are looking up to. You agree? So without any further ado, we have a video to show you about some of the things our honorees do on an everyday life.
We as children learn the importance of calling 911. We would generally never give it another thought, until one day, suddenly time stands still, except for the voice on the other end of the call. Who is this person behind that voice? The person that can listen to the call and assure us that help is on the way. They are the first of the first responders. Now we can breathe a little easier knowing help is on the way. In the distance, we hear the sirens and see the flashing lights. Who is this person that is rushing to help me? From out of the patrol car, we see someone that surveys the scene, identifies the problem, takes action, and leads us to safety. Across the street, we see the fire engine and the ambulance pull up. Suddenly, doors open and more people jump out. Who are they? What kind of people run to the fire no matter how hot it seems? What kind of people can look at severe injuries or even death and assure us we will be okay? What happens if someone is not okay? Who is going to tell the family their loved one won't be coming home?
In the middle of everything that is beautiful about Charlotte County, who are those people that guard our wildlife and protect that beauty for future generations? Who are those people that take an oath to uphold the law, spend countless hours studying the law and prosecuting those that break it? Who are the people that watch over those that are awaiting trial and others that keep the courthouse safe? At the end of the day, there are people that are found guilty of very serious crimes. Who watches over them?
To find out who these people are, we should try to understand why they do what they do. They are self-sacrificing people that put the needs of others above their own. They took on the responsibility to respond when our neighbors, our friends, or even a stranger passing through needed someone to help. They exemplify for us and the next generation the values of courage, service, and commitment. These people are our brothers, sisters, moms, and dads. They are our friends and neighbors. And Charlotte County, Florida would not be what it is without them. Thank you so much for what you do.
As you notice, you have a number of centerpieces on your tables. You can purchase them, or you can make a donation. Right up front to Allison Birch, she'll be sitting at the desk with an officer standing by her side so you don't walk out without paying for them. Right? We would not be here tonight, and I want you to take a glance in your program at all of our sponsors tonight. And look at the businesses that have taken the time to put up the money to put this on tonight. And I think you'll all be shocked a little bit later on when we present the checks to Do the Right Thing program and the CCSO Explorers, because you folks and our sponsors are the keys. We have a number of awards tonight. Once again, I want to remind you, if you're a presenter, we ask you to come up here when the awards start becoming, and over here, we'll have your pictures taken right afterwards. Do we have somebody do the blessing? I'll do it right now. Please bow your heads. Dear Lord, we ask you to protect and make safe all of our first responders all over the world, not just here tonight. Bless this food to our use and us to thy service, dear Lord. Keep us ever mindful of the needs of others. Amen.
Amen.
I'm going to call Tony up right now because he's going to call your tables for dinner. Now, we got two sides of the room to go. It'll go quick if you follow Tony giving the numbers. A big hand for John Redmond.
John, whenever you're we certainly appreciate you coming by our event tonight, recognizing how important public safety is to our community. We appreciate the substantial investment you've made in our community. Our best kept secret is probably no longer a secret, but that's okay. In recognition, we'd like to present you with this award for being our keynote speaker tonight, taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with Please, a huge round of applause for Tom.
There's a microphone. Good job. There's a records lady. That's one of giving you records.
I need the presenters to come on up. I believe our first presenter of the evening. The Chief Assistant State Attorney, Amira Fox.
Ooh, your body's getting up there.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to such a wonderful event, and thank you for that wonderful keynote speech. So, this reward is going to 3 outstanding assistant state attorneys who work for the state attorney's office. And it's for the prosecution of a case that you may remember, the 7/11 murder that happened here in town. And I just want to tell you a little bit about it and what went into this. So on November 1st, 2015, defendant Russo entered the 7-Eleven masked with a gas can and a revolver. He shot the innocent sales clerk, poured gasoline all over him, and set him on fire. This case was investigated by the PUNTA Police Department. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office pitched in and helped, as did the Lee County Sheriff's Office. And law enforcement developed Russo as a suspect. One of the most important things law enforcement developed was that Russo was carrying a gas can when he went into the 7-Eleven that had distinctive markings on it. And they found a gas can at his home with those same markings. Russo told the detectives he had been playing video games during the time that this murder took place. But detectives, with the help of the FBI, were able to go through his home computer where he said he was playing video games and see that he hadn't been on the home computer. The investigation and prosecution of this case took a tremendous amount of teamwork. And I would like anybody actually who's here, before we give these awards to the ASAs, I would like to recognize actually the law enforcement that did the investigation on this case, led by Lieutenant Terry Cochran from the Punta Gorda Police Department. Anyone from the Sheriff's Office here, would you stand up if you worked on this case, please? You know, this case had no eyewitnesses. The defendant, as I said, was masked up during the crime. There was no DNA. There was no confession. This was the type of case that took incredibly hard work by law enforcement and teamwork with the prosecutors, our state attorney's office, to get it done. And they spent many, many hours preparing this for trial, many long hours in trial. And we'd like to now, I believe, could we bring up to the stage our 3 assistant state attorneys who successfully tried this case and got a guilty as charged on a second-degree murder with a firearm, and Mr. Russo is serving life in prison where he belongs. The first award goes to Assistant State Attorney Shannon Doolittle, who is our office head here in Charlotte County. The next award is for Assistant State Attorney Kyle Stublin, who is one of our felony firearms prosecutors and track leaders here in Charlotte County. And last but certainly not least, our other award goes to Dan Feinberg, an Assistant State Attorney who's a member of our Homicide Division. I'd also just like to say I want to give a big, big thank you, and I hope that you'll all join me, to State Attorney Steve Russell. He's been with us as one of your assistant state attorneys for 42 years, 16 years as state attorney. He's retiring this year, and I hope that you'll all join me in a round of applause for the incredible amount of hard work he's put into our community. Thank you very much.
up next from the Florida Highway Patrol, Lieutenant Jeff Van Arsdale.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? Okay, I'll try that. There we go. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting both of these good organizations tonight. My name is Jeff Van Arsdale. I'm Lieutenant with the Florida Highway Patrol. I work down in the Fort Myers office. I've been with the Highway Patrol about 14 years. Tonight we're here to recognize one of Charlotte County State Troopers. His name is Trooper Matthew Still. He's been on about 3 years. He basically exemplifies the Florida Highway Patrol in stature and outstanding work and just basic professionalism that we'd like to say thank you to. And without further ado, I want to introduce Mr. Matthew Still. Come on up here. Trooper Still. Oh, sorry. Did I say Matthew Still? I meant Trooper Still. Let's get it right, okay? Trooper Still, again, has been on for 3 years. One of the cases I want to talk about real quick happened on April 29th, 2018, about 8:45 at night. Trooper Still was on the interstate in Charlotte County when he saw a white male in a black shirt, blue jeans, walking southbound. This isn't natural. This actually, before I get into this is exactly what I'm giving the award for. It's basically just his dedication, hard work, and first 3 years in the community. He wants to spend many more years to come. But he was on the southbound. He was on patrol, and he found a white male. And what did you do? You ended up sitting down, and then what? Tell us a little bit real quick. Oh, okay.
Thank you, sir. Yes, subject, he was on the southbound sidewalk in southbound I-75, and as you know, there's no foot traffic on that roadway. So I ended up making contact with this gentleman, and we were trying to figure out who he was and what was going on, and he really was kind of giving us some signs that he didn't really want to speak to us and, you know, participate. So he ends up running across I-75 in the median. So like any other law enforcement officer, we give chase. We get over there, and he starts hiding down in the palmetto bushes. We can't see him. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get this guy out of here without getting too close and possibly injuring myself or my zone partner. So I start pretending to call over the radio. Okay, go ahead and release the canines. We're south of 170. Yeah, bring in the dogs. Okay, we're backing out. Bring the dogs from northbound. The guy assumes that we have a dog with him or with us, so he jumps up. I don't want to get bit. I'll go. And of course, we didn't have any canines in the area. But it was able to get him to come out and you know, surrender to us. We were able to find out who he was and what was going on. So it's just a good way to end a situation that could be potentially very, disastrous. So that was it, yes, sir. He did. He went to jail for that. So
Thank you.
For being on the road, he went to jail. What did he
Department of
do
Corrections,
wrong?
Kara Williams, the Assistant Warden.
He
Kara?
was alive. I don't know what he did wrong.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of honoring two staff this evening, Sergeant Tammy Baker and Environmental Services Vocational Instructor, Mr. Derek Brown. Sergeant Baker is known for her high standards of performance. In her position of recruiter, Sergeant Baker is often the face of Charlotte Correctional Institution. When she's in the public, she's attending job fairs and community events. Sergeant Baker has taken the initiative to find new sources for possible job candidates. She utilizes avenues not previously considered. She is the first contact to those who express an interest in employment with the Florida Department of Corrections. Sergeant Baker is revered by those that she onboards with our agency. New staff return to her for guidance and motivation months after the employment process has been completed. She is a noteworthy advisor to newly hired correctional officers, and her high ethical standards have made her a trusted leader. Sergeant Tammy Baker. is a walking encyclopedia of knowledge for his environmental class, and he loves to share his knowledge with anyone who will listen. His attention to detail makes for a seamless operation. He has consistently met established project deadlines and milestones. He is one of the friendliest people, and he always arrives with a smile on his face. Although Mr. Brown is responsible for creating and conducting his own vocational classes, he can often be found assisting a recently hired coworker with their own classes or helping other students prepare and clean up their classrooms. Mr. Brown has an ability to communicate effectively with all of his coworkers from the departmental level to his student workers. Regularly, he can be seen with someone who has recently attended one of his training classes, and he's always checking to find out how they're doing. Mr. Brown is a highly skilled individual, and his program saves the institution thousands of dollars by maintaining areas within his institution with no cost to the taxpayers. Each month, he saves upwards of $3,000 a month, and last year saved us $42,000.
Yeah.
Coming up from Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Lieutenant Michael Franz.
Thank you. I don't have a speech here. I'm going to introduce Brian Norris. He's been with Florida Fish and Wildlife for 7 years. In that 7 years, he's been with the Crisis Intervention Stress Management Team. He's our Public Information Officer. He grew up in Southwest Florida. He went to Florida Gulf Coast. Just a whole bunch of stuff. So, thank you, Brian.
From the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, here's Sheriff Bill PRUMMELL.
Here tonight and honoring all of our first responders. So thank you so much. I have the privilege here tonight to honor 3 of my members for their hard work, dedication, and performance, not only with the Sheriff's Office, but in the community. And in the interest of time, I ask that you please read just some of their accomplishments that are in your program. First, from our IT division, our Civilian Member of the Year for 2017, Maria Rivera.
Finally, couldn't even do that. Finally, couldn't do that.
You're slow. Next, from our Detention Division, Correctional Deputy First Class Benson Prosper. And last but certainly not least, Law Enforcement Deputy of the Year, Joella Moore. Again, thank you and God bless.
Charlotte County Fire EMS is up next, and that's Deputy Chief Jason Fair. Jason.
Not a short person. I drew the short straw and had to go behind the Sheriff's Mel. So with that real quick, thank you very much for being here and the opportunity for us to recognize some of our personnel that in front of you to kind of share that achievement. So with that, I have the honor to stand here in front of you and bring to you Battalion Chief John Lauf.
Yeah!
We took the challenge of selecting individuals for this award to our team. It was how do you choose 240 personnel, and they all, in their daily achievements, deserve appreciation and recognition. So picking some, it's a daunting task. But with that, Battalion Chief John Lauf, along with Battalion Chief Larry Lapel, who is also going to receive this award, for their achievement throughout the last Hurricane Irma. So their achievements are out there written in the program for you to take a look at, but just they spent dauntless hours in the command center with us for days on end, just making sure that we had personnel that were evacuated to safe zones out of the anticipated flood zones that included not just homes, but nursing homes and care facilities, and we were pulled from just our local community as well, but they made sure to facilitate that response and facilitate moving more than 1,200 people. So with that, thank you very much for tying it down.
Yeah, they saved.
And now from the Punta Gorda Fire Department, Chief Ray Grace.
20 people needed to be
Good evening. Like so many others have thanked our supporters, I want to do the same. One of the things that kind of touches my heart, while we're going to recognize and award many of our first responders tonight, I think often the families, the folks in the background, get missed. So a big round of applause for the families, spouses, all of that. Without them, the rest of us can't make this happen. So, I've got two folks that we're going to recognize. We started a brand new nomination process this year, and it was extremely successful. One of our awards goes to Zach Brown, and unfortunately he had a family emergency tonight and will not be here. He is our Volunteer of the Year. Again, many nominations for that. Zach has been with us for about 4 years, put in hundreds of hours, and just a big round of applause for Zach Brown. We have our firefighter paramedic of the year, is C.W. McLeod. Come on up here, C.W. He received many nominations as well. He's been with us for a little over 4 years, and I'll just quote one of his co-workers. One of his co-workers said, "You know it's going to be a great shift when C.W. is on shift." So, with that,
She's already been through a block party. Please welcome new Punta Gorda Police Chief Pam Davis.
The Punta Gorda Police Department, we already had our annual awards ceremony, and so we recognized our Officer of the Year, our Civilian of the Year. One of our exceptional duty awards went to Lieutenant Terry Cochran, who's here tonight for his work on the 7/11 homicide. But what I realized was we don't really have that award for an unsung hero, a person that every day goes above and beyond, and if they weren't at the department for whatever reason, they were away, your department has a significant impact because of it. So I created the Chief's Award for Job Excellence, and the very first award recipient is going to be Miss Audrey Dennis. Come on up here, Audrey. Now, Audrey, I don't know that there's ever been a time I've been at work and she has not been there. She is very, very dedicated. She supervises 9 telecommunicators, and last year, in addition to supervising all these people, she also worked 1,500 hours at the dispatch council to fill in for shorting staff, or for staffing shortages. Additionally, at the National Telecommunicators Week in April, she recognized all her people. She had food every day, prizes, scavenger hunts. She really made it a great week, and as a chief, I have to say, I love that you appreciate your people and show them your appreciation, and I want to show my appreciation to you. So, congratulations.
Gotta be like Michigan or something like that.
He doesn't know what's happening tonight, but Chief Davis is going to stand right here and honor one of the members of this committee since the beginning.
So actually, what I'd like to do is we have a bunch of Do the Right Thing board members here. If I could ask them to come forward, please. If you're a Do the Right Thing board member, please come forward. So most of you probably know by now, Corporal Tony Pribble has just retired from our department, but we can't let him retire without recognizing all the hard work that he has done over the last 19 years. He He's been on the Do the Right Thing board, the executive director for 5 years. He's been an FTO, a guide team leader. He's been in CIS and he's been a school resource officer for 10 years. He is just outstanding and he's going to be very much missed, and we wanted to recognize him with this. In recognition of his 5 years for doing the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, unexpected and very much appreciated. I have the honor tonight of presenting one of the highest awards this committee has to give. This award is in memory of our late dear friend, Charlie Shue. We are blessed to have Charlie's wife, Bev, with us tonight. Bev, would you please stand? Charlie is best known for his many years at CVU 104.9. What many of you don't know is Charlie was a huge advocate for the public safety all over Charlotte County. Charlie was forever giving back to the Charlotte County community, which is where he and our awardee met. They both gave of themselves all over the community. Tonight's awardee wanted to keep up that tradition after Charlie's passing. Mr. Fred Tuher is the owner of Howard's Bull World. Fred's company gives a portion of their profits to several charities to include Do the Right Thing with Charlotte County, the Public Safety Appreciation Night, and Disabled Vets. Fred has not only been a sponsor for this event since its inception, but has served tirelessly on our committee. He wanted to make sure that our public safety personnel are honored for what they do to keep our community safe every day. He not only served on our committee, but he opened his home to several fundraising committees, and we thank you for that, Fred. It is for this reason, and many, many, many more, that we honor Fred tonight. It is my honor and my privilege, on behalf of the Public Safety Committee, to present the Charlie Shue Award to Mr. Fred Tuher.
Also, let it be noted that every time Fred hosted an event, there was always top shelf scotch.
Fred is a man of few words, but we thank you, Fred, for everything you've done for our community, and we honor you tonight. Congratulations.
The foundation of a great community. I'm very proud to live here, so thank you very much.
Could I have the Explorer Post 29 come on up here for the check presentation? This is what this is all about tonight, folks. Not only honoring our own idols and heroes out there, but to give back. And that's what Charlie wanted to do. When he and Fred came up with this idea, about 5 years ago, Fred, to get it all together, put it together, and here it goes. This is what it's all about.
Please have the Explorers, they're on their way up here. The Do the Right Thing Award, please return to the stage. And Sheriff PRUMMELL, please return to the stage. Thank you.
I'm serious, God. They did. They made it huge. That's it.
So this is what it's all about. This is why we're all here. This is why the generous sponsors gave so deeply. On behalf of the Public Safety Appreciation Night Committee, I would like to present Do the Right Thing of Charlotte County and Explore Post 29 with individual checks for $8,500 each. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this wouldn't have been possible without you. You should all be very proud of your efforts and endeavors, especially. Thank you to our sponsors, whatever level you were. Thank you so much. Without y'all, this wouldn't be possible. Please, another big round of applause for yourselves. Thank you. Explorer Alec Barone would like to say a few words.
Before I start, I would like to say a special thank you to everybody in this room, whether or not you're a law enforcement officer, or you're a wife, a husband, a child. All of you give every moment of your lives in the service of this country and this county. And I'd like to say thank you, and it's an honor to be in this room with every one of you. My name is Alec Barone, and I am a member of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office Exploring Post 29. On behalf of our Explorer Post, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your participation and your support in making tonight possible. I would also like to congratulate tonight's award recipients. Please know that the young people in this room also thank you for your dedication, and we admire your service to Charlotte County. As explorers, we also look forward to the opportunity to make a difference in our community and be willing, able, and ready to help all people at all times in any situation. Tonight's event is truly an inspiration to all of us as we can appreciate how big the first responder community really is. The commitment each member has, but most importantly, to see the appreciation to our first responder from the community they serve. I've been an explorer for almost 2 years, and I'm loving and cherishing every moment of that. Thanks to the sponsors, donators, and your attendance this evening, our exploring program will continue to grow and flourish for many, many times to come. Thank you all, and have a great night.
Thank you all. Please drive safe going home tonight. And don't forget, Monday morning, turn me on at 7 o'clock, 1580 a.m. Good night, everybody. We got music and dancing starting right now.
Police use who may want to retaliate against him physically.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Copwatch, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.